too embarrassed to say hi, okay?
Nah, come on, talk to her for a minute.
We talked to her Sunday, and I told her that you had a baby.
Oh, that's good. She would kill me if she finds that out.
Say hello, talk to her.
Hello. I'm too embarrassed. You know me, I'm shy.
Yeah.
Arf, arf.
families have good health in the future, that no matter what endeavor they choose, they will experience success, both personally and professionally, and that their lives are filled with hope and happiness. But most of all, for the graduates, we wish that no matter what failures they face or pinnacles they reach, they never give up or stop looking for something better, so that when their own children and grandchildren graduate, they will be able to truly say that they can look back on their lives without regret. To quote Louis Untermeyer, "Though this life is a race, although we know not what we use, although we grope with little faith, give me the heart to fight and lose. Ever insurgent let me be, make me more daring than devout. From sleek contentment keep me free, and fill me with a buoyant doubt. From compromise and things half done, keep me with stern and stubborn pride. And when, at last, the fight is won, keep me still and satisfied." Please be seated.
Applause until everyone has received their diplomas.
For many years at Stowe High School, it has been the tradition for not just one valedictorian to be honored, but the top 10 scholars in the class. We, the top 10 graduating seniors, which also include Jeff Allison, Kirsten Blank, Eugene Choi, David Hodge, Jennifer Kled, Jolie Lewis, David Miller, and Tom Bowe, have planned and will be participating in the ceremony.
The theme of tonight's program is Past, Present, Future, Together. Our first speaker, Eugene Choi, will make a few remarks about the past.
In this final hour of our high school years, the reality of graduation has probably not hit most of us yet. What I'm referring to is not simply the happiness we feel for finally being out of school, but the actuality of the obstacles that lie ahead of us. This is what is known as the real world. Soon we will be faced with multiple choices, and from our decisions, the outcomes of our lives will unfold before the eyes of the world. Lord Byron said it best when he said, "The best of prophets of the future is the past." As we look to our future, we reflect upon the ideas and experiences of our past. From English literature, Carlyle stated, "Nothing that was worthy in the past departs." This quote points up the fact that we must build the rest of our lives on the foundation that we have built in the past. To Stowe High School, we owe many of the building blocks for our foundation. What we have learned at Stowe is not narrowly confined to the academic nature of the classroom. However, it extends to the unconditional limits of social and emotional growth. With this newly acquired broad knowledge, we will better ourselves and take advantage of all opportunities in life. Again, we remember the past in order to conduct our lives and, most importantly, to search for and make the most of our future lives. Thank you, parents and staff, and good luck to the class of 1990.
Good evening. In accordance with our theme of graduation, we thought it appropriate to explain our class motto.
I will not follow where the path may lead,
But I will go where there is no path.
and I will leave a trail. Muriel Strode.
For those of you who are not familiar with our class motto, here are a few phrases which convey its general meaning.
There is a time in every man's education
When he arrives at the conviction that envy is ignorance,
that imitation is fatal,
that he must take himself for his portion,
that though the wide universe is full of good,
no kernel of nourishing corn can come to him,
but through his toil bestowed on that plot of ground which is given to him to till,
whoso would be a man,
must be a nonconformist,
he who would gather immortal palms must not be hindered by the name of goodness.
but must explore if it be goodness.
nothing is at last sacred,
but the integrity of your own mind.
A foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds.
Adored by little statesmen and philosophers and divines.
With consistency, a great soul has simply nothing to do. Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Mr. Miser, Mr. Wagner, Mr. Braun, I recommend that all members of the class of 90 here present have qualified for their diploma by meeting the requirements of the Stone Monroe Falls Board of Education and the requirements set forth by the Ohio Department of Education. I would echo Brad's comments that were discussed at a class meeting during rehearsal this morning. The class has unanimously asked me to send 2 messages as we go through the diploma presentation. In order to honor each member, we would like that everyone stay present for that time. We'd also like that we reserve applause until the full group has been brought forth. At this time, we'll present diplomas.
Two members of the Boards of Education, President Jeff Wagner and John Braun, and 2 members of the Senior Executive Committee, Rhea Thompson and Lisa Dodd, will help with the presentation of diplomas. And Jay Morgan and John Kunkler will introduce each graduate.
Jeffrey Mark Allison. Andrea Diane Carlson.
Kirsten Ann Blank. Eugene Young Choi.
David Brian Hodge.
Jennifer Ruth Klett.
Jolie Lene Lewis.
David Edward Miller.
Thomas Tien Bowe.
Bradley David Wollenser.
Brittany Wynn Bumpers.
Matthew Thomas Welsh.
Frank Edward Zagaro.
Catherine Mary Wolf.
Deborah Ann Richardson.
David Anthony Stewart.
Ryan Lee Akudi.
Mark Christopher Adams.
Ryan Ross Adams.
Yumi Aquino.
Jan Michelle Albertson. Kimberly Sue Alexander.
Robert Elmer Amore.
Tara Marie Anderson.
Mark Edward Andrews.
Nicole Marie Arch.
David Edward Ash.
Gregory Michael Babb.
Amy Sue Bachtel.
Melissa Veronica Bailey.
Jeffrey Allen Baker.
Wynn Michael Baker.
Kelly Wayne Banks.
Amy Beth Barber.
Susan Marie Barker.
Jennifer Lynn Barco.
Craig Matthew Barnes.
Scott Michael Batten.
Daniel Jacob Walker.
John Edward Beck.
Kelly Marie Beck.
Ruthann Berman.
Anthony Paul Bell.
Joseph Bart Benj.
Richard A. Bennett.
Heather Jean Bennington.
Carl L. Berg.
Sarah Jane Bergeron.
Michael George Byros.
Darla Renee Isaac.
Alyssa Lynn Bish.
Ryan Paul Lazio.
Alan Germain Board.
Karen Marie Mullins.
Harley David Bobard.
Dawn Louise Bowser.
Kimberly Ann Boyer.
Krista Lee Boyer.
Erin Christine Brady.
Heather Lynn Bragg.
Wayne Ronald Briggs.
Joshua Brighton.
Jennifer Marie Brink.
Christopher Todd Brisbane.
Matthew Hardy Brockman.
Martin Broch.
Meredith Ann Brown,
Sean Allen Buck,
Jennifer Kinani Bueno,
Michael Bujak,
Harold Burns,
Melvin Wendell Burt,
David Paul Calderon,
Michelle Lee Taylor,
Kathy Lynn Call,
Becky Ann Camden,
Desiree Lee Campbell,
Nicole Marie Canavan,
Kelly Lynn Caniglia,
Carrie Elizabeth Carr,
Nicole Catherine Carroll,
Michael Robert Carter,
Paula Marie Kassenheiser,
Stephen Michael Kavanaugh,
Anthony Michael Childs,
Kenneth Michael Clark,
Valerie Ann Claiborne,
Gary Richard Conklin,
Joel Tuttle Conrad,
John Olin Conrad III,
Scott Lawrence Conti,
Brian Matthew Porcelli,
Jeffrey Lee Crack,
Dale Andrew Craig,
Stephen James Craig,
Gregory Brooks,
Kirk Douglas Feller,
Rona Colette Curcio,
Paul Antonio Cusaro,
John Matthew Curtin,
Tricia Jean D'Antonio,
Wendy Raquel Dalton,
Brian Keith Davis,
Katrina Marie Davino,
Brenda K. Davis,
Charles Michael Davis,
Kevin Leonard Deerstein,
Mikel Marie Deacon,
Angela Maria Del Provost,
Jennifer Marie Dennis,
Jennifer Lynn Dick,
Matthew Edward Gillow,
Jennifer Marie Dimitrick,
Stephen William Dope,
Kathleen Marie Dolson,
Michelle Renee, Chad William Feldman,
Julianne Sue Fieldhouse,
Pamela May Fieldhouse,
Sarah Monica Fielding Russell,
Jennifer Lee Fletcher,
Matthew Paul Forrestal, Gager,
David Lee Galloway,
Christopher Brian Garber,
Fred Lee Gissendanner II,
Tabitha Marie Gittens,
Stephen Edward Davee,
Lisa Renee Goebel,
Beth Suzanne Gordon,
Christopher James Gouch,
Michael Scott Graham,
Amy Michelle Gretzinger,
Sherry Ann Gugnorth,
Sherry Ann Haas,
Diane Marie Hackman,
Amanda Kathleen Hafner,
Richard Eugene Hall II,
Dawn Marie Hamilton,
Michelle Renee Hanlon,
Gerald Stanley Hargett Jr.,
Michelle Christie Harris,
Kendall Sanford Harsh,
Christopher Allen Harder,
Tamara Lynn Hartley,
Jabal Harvey,
Nathan Haught,
Jennifer Marie Hebler,
Melissa Ann Heinel,
Tiffany Lynn Hearn,
Scott David Higley,
Christopher Allen Hill,
Christy Marie Himmelreich,
Michael Anthony Horak,
Morgan Elizabeth Hottensmith,
Tara Marie Howe,
Tricia Lynn Howren,
Courtney Noel Hudson,
Charles Brandon Huff,
Christina Lynn Hughes,
Richard Wayne Humes,
Erica A. Humphrey,
Gregory Roy Hundley,
Ryan Lawrence Hurst,
David George Idell,
Suzanne Carol Jacobs,
Jeffrey Joe Jacobson,
Patricia Jean Jakubowski,
Cheryl Lynn Jandrizak,
Melinda Ann Jessen,
Dwight David Johnson,
Kelly Lynn Johnson,
Dwayne Allen Jones,
Laura Elisa Jones,
Michael C. Jones,
Michael William Calbaugh,
Christine Lynn Karsher,
Gary Lee Carnes Jr.,
Brandon Michael Kavula,
Katrina Kaza,
Kelly Lynn Kirscher,
Tracy Michelle Kastranik,
Martin Frank King.
Donna Michelle Flett.
Brian Gregory Knight.
Cheryl Ann Kolar.
Kyle Douglas Kazmala.
Kimberly Lynn Kubek.
Kevin Joseph Kowalski.
Wendy Lynn Krebs.
Denise Elizabeth Crow.
Richard Monroe Provo.
Kristen Nicole Cruz.
Scott Allen Kuchenbecker.
Aaron Joel Kuszkowski.
James Michael Keebler.
Deborah Lynn Kutinsky.
Elena Labarou.
Kathleen Ann Lacey.
Gary Mina Laura McKay.
Derek Reed Larch.
William Wade Larkins.
Brian James Laser.
Brett David Lashua.
Deborah Ann Levante.
Paul Thomas Leach.
Derek Andrew Leader.
Devony Lynn Lee.
Todd Edward Lee.
Gregory Allen Lair.
Amy Sue Leisenring.
Cindy Ann Lewis.
David Russell Lewis.
Jeffrey Wilson Lewis.
Amanda Louise Linger.
J. David Loney.
Terrence Dwayne Lumpkin.
Kimberly Jean Luxeter.
Jennifer Bertle McDermott.
Makino, excuse me.
Eric Frank Mandel.
Kurt Allen Mariola.
Tracy Sue Marks.
Melissa Lynn Marshall.
Kevin Joseph Martinet.
James Eric Martin.
Tina Eleanor Martin.
Deborah Lynn Medigo.
Andrea Elizabeth Matt.
Brian Lee Maxwell.
Linda Christine Maynard.
Michelle Lynn Mazie.
David Edward McLenzie.
M. W. McGowan.
Kelly Lynn McLeese.
Dale Suzanne Menke.
Christopher Scott Merchant.
John William Mercurio.
John David Messner.
Saren Leanne Michael.
John Carlisle Michaels.
Douglas Albert Miller.
Kara Lee Miller.
Randall Eugene Miller.
Kelly Renee Miner.
Ryan J. Moore.
Sean Patrick Moore.
Melissa Noel Marugat.
Dina Marie Mitre.
Melissa Marie Mumper.
Andrea Sue Murdaco.
Douglas James Murray.
Lisa Renee Myers.
Heather Renee Neal.
Brian Lewis Nemeth.
Huy Van Newen.
Jeffrey Earl Nolte.
Christopher Arestus Norton.
Erica Lynn Nowak.
Debbie Joy Obenhauer.
Rebecca Lynn Oberholtz.
Roxanne Lynn Ortman.
Jennifer Lynn Osborne.
Beth Ann Oberholzer.
Danielle Aaron Owen.
Maria McCord.
Michael Angelo Pilata Jr.
Daniel Lee Parvell.
Kenneth Allen Arp Parker.
Lisa Giuseppe Parks.
Billy Joe Paravani.
Michelle Renee Pasadena.
Tamara Cherie Peace.
Kristen Marie Henley.
Brenda Lynn Herzing.
Julie Lynn Pitts.
John Michael Podrosky.
Jill Diane Porosky.
Lisa Marie Perini.
Michael Allen Ports.
Donald Lawrence Post.
David Christopher Price.
Jennifer Marie Pugh.
Christopher Eugene Renault.
Pamela Sue Ratliff.
Brandon Michael Reese.
Jason Zachary Reagan.
Brian Keith Reiserman.
Catherine Marie Reisinger.
Jenny Ann Ridgway.
Melissa Ann Rydell.
John Thomas Riegler.
Rico Frank Rosato.
Adam Samuel Rossi.
Eric Eugene Rowe.
Nicholas Ruby.
Jason Lloyd Ruggles.
Timothy Scott Rinn.
Kelly Lynn Sartoris.
David Eric Saunders.
William Allen Savory.
Anthony Brian Scapidi.
Jason Eugene Schenk.
Douglas James Schneider.
Tracy Ann Schugert.
Brian James Schultz.
Kimberly Jean Scott.
Myelisa Ann Scott.
Tiffany Renee Scott.
Curtis Brian Searcy.
Stephanie Renee Sedevey.
Nicole Elizabeth Senai.
Richard Carl Sen II.
Larry Jack Sexton Jr.
Paul Segoto.
Melinda Tina Skinner.
Christine Elaine Smith.
Dawn Rochelle Smith.
Jennifer Lynn Smith.
Rachel West Smith.
Roger Andrew Smith.
Mark Ryan Smith.
Kelly Lynn Solomon.
Lisa Renee Sowers.
Marcy Ann Spoggy.
Julie Marie Speaks.
Christopher Allen Spencer.
Ray Stadius.
Diana Lynn Stark.
Jody Lynn Stats.
Laura Christine Steffi.
Trent David Steffi.
Lisa Marie Stewart.
Teresa Marie Stewart.
Kathleen Ann Stickler.
Tracy Lenora Stoyer.
Brian Dean Strong.
Wendy Marie Stahl.
Anthony Isaac Sturgeon.
Barry Lee Sutton Jr.
Katrina Jean Tabor.
Kimberly Renee Taylor.
Monique Taylor.
Michelle Marie Tesmer.
Michael Joseph Textor.
Susan Beatty.
Kirsten Rebecca Thomas.
Julie Shannon Trailer.
Fred Michael Truax.
Curtis Ray Tully Jr.
Mia Grace Uricki.
Robert Kenneth Ullman.
Todd Christopher Vanyo.
Anthony Charles Barden.
Christopher Allen Vaught.
Robert Sean Ventura.
Wendy Marie Vescova.
Danielle Helene Burkant. Daniel Dallas Wagner.
Tamara Sue Wagner.
Richard John Wakeman.
Christopher Allen Waite.
Janine Marie Waldeck.
Scott Christopher Walker.
Stephen Elliott Walters.
Edie Marie Warner.
Kaya Marie Westergaard.
Anthony John Weiler.
Kimberly Ann White.
James Roy White.
Matthew Allen Wilkinson.
David Daniel Wiechek.
John James Withington.
Beth Ann Wiper.
Amy Oimai Wong.
Kelly Ann Whitworth.
Jerry Ray Woods.
Heather Carmel Wood.
Julie Jennifer Yanchik.
Suzanne Patricia Yannick.
Mark David Yanucci.
Gregory John Yanito.
David Scott Young.
David Arlen Yates.
Jennifer Ann Zeit.
William Allen Yaxheimer. Lisa Leanne Dodd.
Brianna Ray Thompson.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and the power vested in me by the state of Ohio through the Board of Education, I now pronounce this class of 1990 as graduates of Stowe Monroe Falls High School.
You got it.
Love you. I need you. I want you.
Hey, Duck. Go away.
Yes, that's right. I'm back.
Can you make him
3
talk?
years.
Hey, he's your little...
How have you been? Huh? Hello.
I get it.
Are you going to Lisa Stewart?
Hello.
Yes.
Did you see Katie?
Don't get too
Oh
close.
my God.
Kelly! Hi, how are you?
We're gonna come over.
Too late.
I know we got to start directly into them when I take the graduation pictures.
All right, Mike. Your first act as a graduate.
You know who it's from, aren't you? Look at the card. You know who it's from, Mom. Do you like that, Charles?
Yeah.
Yeah, pass around so fast.
Show this other card. Let me see the wrapping paper.
That's from Mom and Dad, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cardboard box.
This one is always like
Not on the cake, yes.
Hello, Diana. Ooh,
Bags.
it's monogrammed.
That's kind of a hint.
Leave.
Thank you.
They even got it monogrammed for you, so you won't lose it. Not the small one, the bigger
Ah.
one. DMD. Ooh.
When you're in command, see, that'll mean the same thing.
Yeah, that's it.
What do I do next?
Another
This-
card.
This card?
Yeah.
Do you feel any different after graduating?
Not physically.
Ouch.
Thank you.
Grandma, Grandpa?
Oh.
This is from Michelle and I. You can't open it. I did your style of wrapping the bag.
Kmart special, what my mom
It's not Kmart.
said. Trash bag special.
It's not a trash bag either.
And a suitcase.
I like it.
Yeah.
What's it say? Let's see. Skateboard champion of the universe, huh?
I just kind of for cake?
Yeah, cake and ice cream.
Pretty soon you get too old to have all the candles on there. You gotta go multiples of 2 or 3. Okay, well, I'm 40, so we'll just put down 20 to 2, one for each of 20 years.
Davee, here's some.
I feel like an old rooster some days. Part of it's just how you feel, how you look at things. Some days I feel like I'm about 104.
Baby's 15th birthday. Lighting the candles and her own cake.
Feel the heat from here.
I do.
Oh, our old kid.
Happy birthday to you. Happy
Birthday to you,
Happy birthday, dear
Davee.
Happy birthday
To you.
Swallow before you blow. I knew she could do it. Yeah, very good. Yay. Now you have to eat the candles. That's for Dad. Card's for you. The rest is for Dad.
Dad didn't write on this one?
Nope.
Thank you, my honey.
Floor number 8.
Hi, honey.
That's her open one right now.
Well, it's so long since I,
Just give me a
yeah, just very often. It's 7-2.
Hi, baby. How are you? I'll give you some cake, but it's not good for you.
Marcellus on Evening at Pops. Tonight at 8.